Salutations everybody, and welcome to an informal guide to the mandatory option for Destroy All Humans. My name is Ronan, and in this video, I'm going to go through all 23 missions and their unique optional objectives, as well as giving you tips to make the overall experience easier. There are 54 optional objectives to earn. It's possible to get them all on your first playthrough, but if you happen to miss any of them, you can retry at any time via the Holopox deck in the Mothership's archives. When doing this, it's worth noting that you will retain all upgrades you have currently unlocked for your abilities, provided that ability was available to you during said mission, giving you a potential advantage compared to your first time playing. Now, if you're after a specific mission or objective, here's a list with their time codes so you can skip ahead. Otherwise, strap yourselves in and enjoy the ride. The first optional objective in Mission 1 is to drown a cow in the nearby lake. This has to be done during the PK tutorial. Just pick up any cow with your PK and either drop or dunk it into the lake. You know, I heard some companies like to dilute their milk with water, but this is taking a bit too far. If you have any qualms doing such a heinous act to such an innocent creature, just imagine the cow as a milk tank and the water is Whitney's tears. I'm sure you can muster up the motivation. The second optional objective is for us to kill Mrs. Turnipseed with a chicken. This can be done right after dealing with the farmhands and the cutscene of the cops stopping by. Just pick up any nearby chicken with PK and throw it at Mrs. Turnipseed. If you can't find a chicken or misplaced one, be sure to check the nearby coop for more. Now, throwing a chicken at Mrs. Turnipseed isn't enough. It has to be the killing blow for it to count. Our first optional objective in Mission 2 is to escort the lovely Miss Rockwell while posing as the mayor. This can be done right after scanning the local fairgoers for the ideal probing specimen, leading you to Miss Rockwell. At which point you'll be tasked with leading her back to your saucer. When this happens, all you have to do is use your holobob on the mayor, who can be found on the stage just across from the large circus tent you're in. Just hide behind the stage and use your holobob to take on his form. You can also do this step before interacting with Miss Rockwell if you want to save some time. Whichever way you choose, proceed by leading her back to the marked location. If you need to recharge your holobob, just repeatedly scan your newfound follower. For the second optional objective, we need to destroy several marked buildings using the Abducto Beam. Once back in your saucer, all you have to do is pick up an object with your Abducto Beam and throw it at a building. It may take a few throws before it's destroyed, depending on the object thrown and the size of the building. Now, when grabbing objects using the Abducto Beam, the saucer will always pick up whatever object is marked with the yellow psi pointer. And when throwing objects, it will target whatever is under the saucer's crosshair. There are also two ways to aim your saucer, either overhead, using its focus mode to target things directly underneath the saucer, or the default camera, which targets things from a distance. There are two optional objectives in Mission 3. The first is to kill a scientist using an explosive cow, which can be done at the start of the mission. Either zap one of these green cows while it's near, or throw it directly at a scientist with PK to earn this objective. The next optional objective is to scan 3 humans at the gathering. This can be done once the mayor decides to hold a meeting in front of Town Hall. All you have to do is Cortex scan 3 humans standing in front of this podium, which is easy enough. The tricky part is getting in without being detected. This area is restricted and can only be accessed by disguising yourself as the mayor or as a police officer. Disguising yourself as a citizen or even a soldier will blow your cover. Bonus tip, it's possible to fail the mission during the mayor's address to the townsfolk. There's actually multiple right and wrong answers, each with their own unique dialogue attached.
Why the hell do you think they're glowing? They've been probed.
That's a stinking lie. I didn't touch them cows. Especially not like that. That's sick. And anyway, Dr. Kinsey says it's normal. So just get your judgmental bourgeois attitudes out of my bedroom.
As comedic as it might be to give a bad answer, giving 3 will fail the mission. If you aren't sure as to what is a right answer and just want to pass the mission, give these answers to the crowd's questions. Otherwise, have fun with it.
I gotta tell you, I've seen some disgusting creatures in my time, but you monkeys take the cake. In fact, calling you monkeys is an insult to monkeys. How you ever became the dominant species on this planet is a total freaking mystery.
There are 2 optional objectives for Mission 4. The first is to drown 5 partygoers, which can be done once you've infiltrated the pool party. Don't worry about sneaking in, any disguise seems to work. The only real issue is the undercover Majestic Agent. Stay out of his circle of detection, which is visible on the minimap, and use your distractibility to temporarily deal with him while going about your mission. Once Poxy gives the word to crash the party, pick up and drown 5 humans in the pool. The second optional objective is to destroy 5 police cars. This can be done right after dealing with the partygoers. After crashing the humans' party, the cops will try and crash yours. All you have to do is destroy 5 of their cars, 3 of which can be found in the parking lot next to the pool. Your brand new disintegration ray is the best tool for this objective. If you are revisiting this mission, any upgrades you have acquired will make it more effective. And don't forget to use your transmogrify ability if you're running low on ammo. Breaking up the monotony with 3 optional objectives instead of 2, we have Mission 5. The first objective being to destroy the Majestic Agent's car using explosives. This can be done at the beginning of the mission, but must be done with explosive barrels. Luckily, the game has provided 5 opportunities for us. The first being this broken down truck at the center of this intersection. I recommend cutting off the Majestic Agent's car and either zapping the barrels while it's near, or throwing them one at a time with PK. If you're struggling to keep up, purchasing any of the skate upgrades while revisiting this mission will give you an edge you wouldn't normally have, increasing your speed and maneuverability. If you've missed the first moment, there'll be a second chance with the nearby gas station just down the road. The third moment will be the very same truck and intersection we talked about before, meaning you can simply wait here if you missed it the first time, provided you didn't blow the truck up already. The fourth opportunity will be another gas station on the corner of the hill leading to the radio station. And the final opportunity is the radio station itself. But keep in mind this is a last-ditch effort, and you will need to destroy the car before it stops. One more thing to keep in mind is you don't have to stay near the car for this mission. You can move to any of these areas and wait for the car to come to you. The next optional objective is for us to drown Sleepy Ernst. This can be done shortly after dealing with the Majestic Agents and scanning Sleepy Ernst while he's asleep next to his car. When tasked with destroying Ernst, grab him with your PK and drown him at the nearby beach, where he'll forever sleep with the fishes. Our third and final optional objective for this mission can be done when tasked with bending the antenna. Antennas? Antennae. Ente?
Antennae.
Ah, thank you. When bending the antennae around the neighborhood. And we must do it without ever touching the ground. People familiar with the game The Floor is Lava should have no problem with this. For those unfamiliar, the rules are simple. You have to get from point A to point B while avoiding the ground as if it were lava. If you succeed, you win. If not, well... Just stick to the roofs of the houses and sheds and you should be fine. If you are running out of juice for your jetpack and are unsure if you can stay on the high ground, you can use any of the nearby swimming pools to give you a second chance to get back up. Now, if you're like me, you're probably curious as to what counts as lava and what doesn't. So I actually did a little investigation. If you want to know, keep watching. If you don't care and want to skip ahead, just use this timestamp. It's okay, I won't think any less of you. Alright. Are all the cool kids still here? Okay, here's what I found out. As I said before, the roofs of the houses and sheds are safe, as are swimming pools, umbrellas, doghouses, palm trees, and swing sets. The things that aren't safe are the ground itself and anything about a foot or two off of it. Now this creates a weird limbo area where some parts of objects count as lava and other parts don't. For example, the roof of this car is safe, but not its hood. Or the front of this boat, but not the back. The top parts of this fence and brick decoration, but not the lower parts. And that's everything I found. I know it's not much, but I appreciate you for listening. If you guys want to hear more random stuff like this, let me know by leaving a comment down below. Maybe if there's enough of you, I'll make a separate video for these kind of things in the future. Speaking of the future, that timestamp I set for those who wanted to skip ahead is coming up. How should I greet them? I don't want to come across as too mean or say something awful, I don't know, like, "Sup, losers? Thought you could skip ahead that easily?" Well, I guess it really doesn't matter. Is everybody here now? Alright, moving on. There's only one optional objective in Mission 6, and it's probably one of the easiest. All you have to do is use an anal probe on 8 humans. That's it. The timing of this weapon is the only real obstacle. Press and hold the trigger, then release it when this arrow drops down and glows white. If you decide to revisit the mission with more upgrades, it'll make the timing even easier. Maybe a little too easy. Yet another level containing a single optional objective is Mission 7. Here we must destroy 12 army assets. Keep in mind, Majestic and police-themed enemies do not count. This objective can be done during the task of stopping the ice cream trucks from leaving Santa Modesta. All you have to do is destroy 12 military-themed objects. These include tanks, soldiers, trucks, gun turrets, SAM launchers, and even those automated turrets that pop up out of the ground. There should be plenty to choose from, but keep in mind you'll be on a short leash due to the ice cream trucks. If you stop and destroy all the ice cream trucks before you complete the optional objective, you will have to restart. But if you don't stop them, you will fail the mission. The solution to this problem is to grab any escaping ice cream truck with the abducto beam and carry it with you while doing the bonus objective. On to Mission 8, where we are back to having 2 optional objectives. However, now we have to do them at the same time. That being to destroy a cop with a Majestic agent, and to destroy an agent with a cop. These 2 stipulations must be done while guarding the holo projector. Just use PK on a Majestic agent and throw them at a cop. Then grab a cop and throw them at an agent. Not too difficult. Just know that it has to be the killing blow, and that Majestic agents have far more health and will take more hits before going down. Mission 9 has 3 optional objectives for us to earn. The first is to destroy a car using a human. As with most of these types of objectives, we have to use PK to grab a human and toss them at the target to count. But once again, it has to be the finishing blow. Cars have a decent amount of health, so it's best to weaken it with the disintegration ray before finishing it off with a human. Unless, of course, you have a flair for the dramatic. Once Majestic has been lured in, we can then do the second optional objective, which is to kill 5 agents with the ion detonator. It doesn't get any more straightforward than that. The only potential issue is accidentally completing the main objective of destroying $20,000 of Majestic assets first. This might sound like a lot, but it's only about 5 Majestic cars worth of damage. So try to lead any agents away before using the ion detonator. Then, double back to the cars when you want to continue the mission. The third objective for Mission 9 is to destroy a building with an agent. This can be done when tasked with destroying the Majestic hideout while in your saucer. To do this, just pick up an agent with the abducto beam and throw them at one of the marked buildings. It might take several throws before it destroys them, so be patient. Don't forget that the abducto beam will always pick up the object highlighted with the yellow side pointer, but will throw them where the saucer's crosshairs are aiming. Mission 10 has 3 optional objectives. For the first one, we have to get all the hints from the crackpot. At the beginning of the mission, we'll be tasked with following this tinfoil-capped chap to our next destination. While this is going on, just Cortex scan him 5 times. A lot of good that hat did him. All jokes aside, I respect a person who is only trying to help others by giving tips and tricks for video games. However, what I can't stand is wasting time. Perhaps we can help speed him along. Grabbing the crackpot with PK and dropping him by this boathouse will cut his needless rambling short. You can then pick him up again and then drop him off by the cafe to save even more time. This brings us to the second optional objective, which is to reach Burt Withers undetected. There are multiple ways to do this. One is to disguise yourself as a soldier and have the cook follow you via mental manipulation. But why do that when you can cut out the middleman and just disguise yourself as the cook? This method guarantees the cook of not doing something stupid and blowing your cover. Make your way to the entrance of the island base and watch out for the EMP mines and majestic agents. If any of these do get in your way, just use the explode ability on the EMP mines and the distract ability on any of the agents. Try and refrain from using any aggressive abilities like PK or Brain Extract. Doing so will blow your cover. If you accidentally activate a Brain Extract, you can quickly cancel it by Cortex scanning them instead. The only other obstacle is the electric fence at the entrance, which you can shut down using this generator. From there, continue into the base until you find a submarine. Then go up the stairs on the opposite side of the room to find Bert. With Mr. Withers following behind, we can now do the third objective, which is to destroy 10 soldiers with explosives. Along the way back to your saucer, there will be plenty of explosive barrels, so be sure to use these. But the best method is to use the ion detonator. If you're revisiting this mission, any upgrades will be brought in with you, making quick work of this objective. There are 3 optional objectives for Mission 11, one for each battle phase that makes up this level. The first phase and objective we have involves killing 5 soldiers using explosive barrels. Note that I said explosive barrels, so the ion detonator will not count towards this objective. There are plenty of explosive barrels to use in this location, probably leftovers from Mission 5, but it's still possible to run out before finishing the objective, so try to hit groups of enemies if you can. Also, watch out for enemies using rocket launchers. They like to sneak up to the fence and shoot the towers when you're not looking. Which brings me to the second objective, which requires us to kill 2 soldiers using rockets. For this, we need a soldier, well, with a rocket launcher, of course. These enemies will slowly spawn in and either stay back by the Tasty Pete's donut shop or come in close by the radio station's fence. I'd recommend just killing the ones attacking the towers, or at least repositioning them using PK. Then using the rockets fired by the further away enemies for this objective. Once fired, just grab it with your PK and throw it back, preferably at a different enemy, allowing you to do it repeatedly. The third phase holds the most temperamental objective, which is to kill 2 soldiers using grenades. The reason this can be so finicky is because there isn't a reliable way to predict when an enemy will toss a grenade. Almost any normal soldier can randomly throw one. The same goes for the power suit enemies, who can shoot out several at a time. In fact, it can be so inconsistent, you might have gotten this objective by accident. All is not lost with this though. I suggest guarding the east entrance and keeping the enemies focused on you from a distance. Eventually a soldier or power suit will lob a grenade. They make a distinct clacking sound, so keep an ear out for it if you don't see one. Once you do get your PK-toting hands on one, hot potato it back at a group of soldiers.
Focus!
There are 2 optional objectives for Mission 12. The first being to extract 12 human brains. This can be done right after you collected the parts from the crashed saucer. Just use your brain extract on 12 humans. It's that simple. So simple, you don't even have to collect them. Also, maintaining your cover is completely optional for this part, so don't worry about breaking it. Once you found out whatever happened to Crypto136, you'll be given the second optional objective, which is to kill a bunch of humans. 15, I believe. Pretty straightforward. Just do it before returning to your saucer, and don't forget to have fun. Mission 13 has 3 optional objectives for us to earn. The first being to reach the lab without being detected. Use your holobob on the maintenance worker outside the fence to disguise yourself. Then work your way to the lab at the center of the complex. Avoid any agents and EMP mines, and use your distract and explode abilities on them respectively, if you need to clear a path. As with all incognito mode styled objectives, don't use any aggressive psi abilities like Brain Extract or PK. This will blow your cover. Once you've taken the elevator into the lab, you'll be given your second optional objective of trashing it. To do this, you'll have to destroy 5 various control consoles around the lab. You can use your psi ability to do this, but the Zap-O-Matic will do it in a flash. Don't worry about blowing your cover in this area, because the only way to deal with the super agents is with your weapons. You'll find the first console at the end of the hallway you started in, sitting in the corner. The second console is in the next room on the way to the testing area. The third and fourth consoles are inside the testing areas with the super agents. And the fifth console is just to your right when exiting the testing room. All 5 must be destroyed before heading back to the elevator for it to count. After dealing with the Tesla coils and returning to your saucer, you'll get the third objective, to destroy 6 buildings using your sonic boom. Go for the smaller buildings first and transmogrify any vehicles if you're short on ammo. If you find yourself running out of ammo before you can do this objective, don't forget you can revisit it again later once you've upgraded your sonic boom. Not only does Mission 13.5 have 3 optional objectives for us, but they are given to us simultaneously after scanning General Higgs. To do them, we have to kill 3 scientists in a very specific way. Fans of the Hitman series should feel right at home. You can do them in any order, provided you haven't killed the scientist associated with each objective. The first one we'll tackle is dropping a crate onto one of the scientists. Head over to the storage area with the large silos on the northern end of the base. Here we'll find a scientist pacing back and forth under a crane, holding a large crate. Interact with the crane to drop the crate while the scientist is under it to check off this objective. Next, we'll lure a scientist into a minefield. Head south from this location to the ammunition compound. In the center of this area is a scientist standing idly by next to some mines. To earn this objective, just use your follow command on the scientist with the mines between the two of you. The scientist will do the rest.
Man, that guy stepped right on those mines. That's the 4th one this week.
The last objective is to cause a barbecue accident. You can find this objective between 2 buildings in the northeast part of the base. Just use your psi ability to interact with the gas tank, causing it to explode. I hope you're ready for this, because Mission 14 is not only one of the most troublesome levels, it's also the one that has the most optional objectives, with a total of 4. It's essentially one big escort mission with the 4 objectives taking place along certain sections. Here's everything I came up with to help you. After holobobbing the soldier that has relieved himself from duty, sneak into the base to attain the nuke and begin the escort mission. Once outside the base, just past the first bend, comes our first objective of killing 3 soldiers using cows. Now, killing the soldiers is easy, just PK a cow into them. It's protecting the nuke that's the problem. The driver of this truck likes to keep moving regardless of what's in his way. This includes the explosive cows. To prevent him from driving into certain death, try and stay ahead of the truck and remove any obstacles. You can also stand directly in front of the truck to stop it entirely. Once you've dealt with the soldiers using the explosive cows and cleared the road, we'll have our second obstacle, which is to kill 3 soldiers with rocks. This is by far the easiest of the 4 objectives, because the aforementioned rocks will stop the truck carrying the nuke entirely, giving you ample time to pick up some of the smaller rocks and toss them at the soldiers. Once done, clear the path for the truck to continue the mission. But make sure to take one of the bigger rocks as a souvenir. Trust me, it will come in handy down the road. Which brings me to the next obstacle, wherein the military will have set up a roadblock, and with it our third objective to destroy 3 soldiers with landmines. Once again, this is pretty easy to do. Just PK a landmine into a soldier, or vice versa. I'm not picky. It's the truck potentially driving into the mines that we have to watch out for. To prevent this, but also free up your maneuverability, place your new pet rock in front of the truck to keep it from moving. Once you've dealt with the soldiers and zapped away any remaining mines, you can remove the rock and continue the mission. From here, you'll make your way into the base and onto the runway. During this final stretch, the soldiers will be a little less focused on the truck and more on you. Just keep the truck clear of any grenades and things should play out fine. Once the nuke is in position and activated, you'll be given the 4th and final objective: to kill 3 soldiers with rockets. Very similar to the second objective in Mission 11, you have to catch one of the rockets with PK and throw them at another soldier. It might take a minute or 2 for the soldiers with rockets to spawn in, so be patient. Once they do, try and use their rockets on other enemies first before taking them out. Other than that, just keep the scientist away from your nuke until Pox gives the order to retreat. At which point, make like a pro skater to your saucer and get out of Area 42 before the nuke goes off.
Jesus, this is it!
Mission 15 has the title It's a Wonderful Armageddon, and fittingly so, because all 3 of its optional objectives involve destroying human defense structures. The first being a gun turret, which is given after reaching the marked location. Thankfully, the game provides one for us, and it can be found next to the nearby playground. Now, any of the other gun turrets will count as well. However, most of them are quite a bit of ways from the drone we're supposed to be guarding. Keep in mind, the game will not count these turrets if you destroyed them before the optional objective was given. Once the drone begins its second scan, you'll be tasked with the second objective of destroying a SAM launcher, the closest being in the northeast corner of the mall's courtyard. Like the gun turret, other SAM launchers will count too, but the next nearest one is about a block away. If you somehow destroyed this launcher preemptively, I'd recommend heading straight for the SAM launcher that's on the way toward the beach immediately after initiating the drone's second scan, reducing any potential damage it might receive. After boarding your saucer and unlocking your new quantum deconstructor, you'll be given the third objective. Following suit, you'll have to destroy 10 military defense structures. These include the aforementioned gun turrets and SAM launchers, but also the smaller automated turrets located on the island military base. Even though they're underground, your saucer can still hit them. Just attack the metal platform they're under to destroy them. Very helpful if you can't find any other turrets, or you just want to be a bully and kick a turret when it's down. Mission 16 decided to go back to the basics, taking away most of our equipment. If that wasn't unfortunate enough, it stacked 2 optional objectives on top for good measure. The first being a nice refresher course on your holobob. After starting the mission, you'll be tasked with taking on 4 human disguises. 3 of these can be done almost immediately using the scientist and 2 majestic agents standing guard. However, each human only counts as 1, so disguising yourself multiple times using the same human won't count. Instead, you'll have to find a different human for your 4th scan. I suggest a soldier because it'll help make getting your jetpack a lot easier. After demanding Marilyn to take you to the island and finding your saucer, you'll be given the objective to drown 6 majestic agents. It wouldn't hurt to be stealthy during this part, but eventually you're going to have to break your cover to make it to the nearby ships, drown these agents, and complete the mission. Now, the objective says you only have to drown 6, but there's nothing saying it can't be more. Onward to Capital City, where we will see some of America's national monuments, as well as complete 2 optional objectives. The first one requires us to be discreet in our tourism by reaching the Octagon undetected. Immediately after starting Mission 17, take on a human disguise. It doesn't matter who, just make it quick. Then make your way to the White House. Do your best to avoid any majestic agents and restricted areas. Once you scan the scientists to learn the secret password, and taken on your new disguise as one of them, make your way to this bridge. Command the guard to raise the gate and make your way across. Hug the left side of the bridge to avoid this hidden agent's circle of detection, then explode these EMP mines and use distract on this agent to get by. Relay the password Blue Rider to the guard and then go to the marked location. Getting up there will require you to break your disguise though, so go over to this area and carefully make your way up. The debris should keep you mostly hidden. After watching the cutscene with Armquist and Silhouette, you'll be told to return to your saucer. Along the way, you'll have the second optional objective given, to kill 5 soldiers using explosives. At this point, you no longer need to maintain your disguise, so don't worry about compromising it. The best place to do this optional objective is the bridge. There will be plenty of explosives for you to use and plenty of soldiers for you to use them on. Keep in mind it has to be soldiers. Majestic agents, cops, and civilians don't count. If you somehow do run out of explosives, or simply press for time, don't forget the ion detonator also counts for this objective. Mission 18 has 2 optional objectives for us, as well as the first boss fight in the game. But more on that later. First, we need to tail Armquist's car without alerting anyone. While doing so, we'll get our first optional objective to sabotage all 5 of the majestic listening posts. Most of these are found on the rooftops. And if Assassin's Creed has taught me anything, it's that running on top of roofs helps maintain a low profile. Do this to keep out of sight while bending the antennas. Bonus tip, after you successfully followed Armquist's car to the Maritime Museum, you'll need to holobob the Marine Warlord. Getting to him is pretty easy, but switching holobobs using him can be a bit troublesome. I find it helps to use the command ability and have him follow you to a more private location. Then using forget on him to break the command, allowing us to use our holobob on him. Once done, head into the secret meeting in the museum. While in here, Armquist will try and rally the other branches of the military, where you can then sabotage his attempts. Now, it does not matter if you succeed or fail in this ploy. The outcome will be the same, so pick whatever floats your boat and enjoy the show.
Enough chit-chat. Suck on this, warmongers.
Once you've crashed Armquist's recruitment party, the boss fight will begin, and we will be tasked with collecting 6 ammo spawns during the fight. A quick look around the battlefield will reveal there are no ammo spawns available. That's because they only spawn in at the beginning of the second and third phases of the fight. So you'll need to deplete Armquist's health bar first. Once depleted and Armquist skyrockets into the air, the first 3 ammo spawns will appear. One in front of the display with the tugboat, another on top of that tugboat, and the third in front of the memorial overlooking the harbor. Triggering the third phase of the fight will drop in 4 more ammo spawns, all of which can be found on each one of the docks behind the aforementioned memorial. A few quick tips when fighting Armquist. The disintegration ray is the best weapon to use, especially when upgraded. Use this to melt his health away. Next, try and stay off the ground when possible. I found the best approach is to attack him while in the air while using your focus mode, which will keep you both in the air and locked onto Armquist at the same time. The only downside is you won't be able to use your PK on any of the missiles he launches at you, not unless you let go of the focus mode first. Don't forget to use Brain Extract on his foot soldiers to regenerate your shield and keep the heat off your back. Do this and Armquist will learn a valuable lesson in humility.
Deep in our hearts, I think what we really wanted was to be just like you.
Really?
Really.
I guess, at the end of the day, we really are all just human beings.
Psych. Pathetic human.
Next up, we have Mission 19, which has 3 optional objectives for us. This mission requires us to head to the White House and tail the president's motorcade without alerting the police. Why do I get the feeling the script is gonna put me on some FBI watch list?
You think he's onto us, Christoph?
No, he's an idiot.
Anyways, I'd recommend holding off on holobobbing anyone just yet, and instead using the buildings as stepping stones until you get closer to the White House. Then, take on a disguise and follow the motorcade. This part of the mission will mostly be uneventful. Just stay close and avoid any majestic agents until you arrive outside the Thomas Jefferson Memorial. The area will be blocked off, so to avoid anyone's detection and maintain your disguise, you can side jump around this fence while still in your holobob. Once the motorcade comes to a stop, an ambush will ensue, along with our next optional objective to drown 6 soldiers. Pretty straightforward. All you have to do is PK a soldier into the nearby river. They don't even have to be alive for it to count, weirdly enough. After the ambush, you'll hear about the president giving a speech in front of the Capitol building. Our third task is to destroy him using an explosion. You'd think this would be slightly difficult, with the only option being the ion detonator. But you'd be wrong. For some odd reason, the president is surrounded by explosives. I can't help but wonder if somebody wanted this to happen. Oh well. With the president out of the way, we can now set our attention to Congress. In this mission, we have to destroy senators who are either on break or returning to Capitol building, with the extra objective of collecting their craniums. We have to extract 10 brains from the senators, but just using brain extract isn't enough. You have to pick them up for it to count. However, I wouldn't recommend collecting any more than you have to. They aren't exactly worth it after completing the objective. Instead, just destroy the senators quickly. My favorite method is picking them up while skating around and then throwing them while on my way to the next target. Just keep an eye out for cars. After continuing the mission, you'll be told to stop any senators from entering the Capitol. At this point, our second optional objective to kill 10 senators with explosives will pop up. Yet again, there's a suspicious amount of explosives already provided for you to use. Who knows, maybe they're supposed to be fireworks? Oh well. Feel free to use these if you want, but in case you run out, your ion detonator also counts. We're almost done, people, so don't give up on me now. Mission 21 begins with us disabling every Tesla coil in Capital City. During this, we'll have the added objective of electrocuting 3 scientists with these coils. Only some of these Tesla coils will have scientists nearby, so keep an eye out for them. To electrocute them, use PK to pick up and hold the scientists against the coils. The coil must still be functional for this to work. Once done, just zap the command consoles for a quick Tesla coil destruction. After destroying the first coils, Pox will send you to your saucer to destroy the rest on the east side of the city. Here our second objective will begin. We have to kill the 3 scientists who invented them. You'll find them relatively close to the coils themselves. They'll be marked both on your screen and minimap with a blue hexagon. Just be sure to kill them before you destroy the last Tesla coil. We're finally here, the last mission of the game, and although it involves 2 boss fights, the 2 bonus objectives aren't that challenging. In fact, they're more like tips in themselves, really. The first involves hitting the weak spot on the RoboPrez's chest. This is such a gaming staple that I wouldn't be surprised if you got this already. I feel like it would be harder not to get, actually. Well, while we're here, allow me to give you a few more tips to help. The RoboPrez has 3 ways to attack you, those being his chest laser, his energy blasts and missiles, as well as summoning a barrage of balloon bombs. For when he uses his chest laser, it's best to either maneuver away or above the RoboPrez and use your death ray. When he begins shooting energy blasts and missiles, back away and use your sonic boom. If it has the big bada boom upgrade, it will suck in all of these attacks back at the RoboPrez. When he summons in the balloon bombs, shoot him with the quantum deconstructor. This should get rid of most of them, or at least the ones that are closest to you. Keep an eye out for vehicles or power suits and absorb them to regenerate your shields if you need it. And don't forget to quickly destroy any turrets around you to help reduce potential threats. Now there are 3 phases to this fight, but other than location, there really isn't a difference between them. Just play off whatever tactic he throws at you accordingly, and you'll take him out in no time. With the RoboPrez losing by a landslide, the only thing standing between us and our final optional objective is Silhouette. Much like the fight before, this objective is more of a battle tip than anything. At the beginning of and throughout the fight with her, Silhouette will jump into the air and perform a special move. Our objective is to shoot her out of the air, canceling this attack. If you fail to stop it, Silhouette will shoot you with what I can only describe as a psychic blast. This blast homes in on you and severely depletes your shields, so definitely get in the habit of shooting her out of the air. When it comes to fighting Silhouette on the ground, keep close. The Zap-O-Matic and Disintegration Ray are the best weapons to melt her shields, while the Ion Detonator is the best for any turrets or mines that get spawned in. If all your weapons and abilities are fully upgraded, you should be able to use my preferred method to bring Silhouette down. Start off with the anal probe and then shoot both probes into her. Hey, don't give me that look. I've been shoving things up people's butts this entire video and you didn't bat an eye. The second it's a woman, you think it's personal? Get out of here. Anyways, shoot both probes, then switch over and use the Zap-O-Matic. This will allow you to deal damage with 2 weapons at once while also conserving precious ammo. When the probes retract, switch back over to the anal probe and repeat the process until her shields are disabled. This will stun her momentarily, at which point use the Disintegration Ray and shoot her as close as possible so that all 3 projectiles are hitting her. Once her shields recharge, start the process over again. Every so often, the fallen RoboPrez will attack with his chest laser. To avoid it, hide behind any debris that's marked with a blue aura. If you're close to Silhouette when this is happening, but can't hit her with a Zap-O-Matic or Disintegration Ray, it might be worth trying the anal probe. Something about it just handles corners so well, I can't explain it. After her health bar has depleted, Silhouette will begin flipping toward a generator to replenish her health. There are 2 of these generators and they can be found on the north and south side of the battlefield. Silhouette will always go to the north one first, so cut her off there. But be wary of the automated turrets that spring up nearby. Once the generator has been destroyed, the second phase will begin. The only thing different about this phase is Silhouette will head to the south generator when her health is depleted. She will also occasionally throw out mines. Use a well-placed iron detonator or the Zap-O-Matic to clear these. When the second generator is destroyed, you'll enter phase 3. Silhouette will become a lot more aggressive and give you very little time to maintain offensive control. Instead, try and play a little more defensively and focus on keeping your shields up. With no generators to replenish her health, it's only a matter of time before Silhouette falls. And with her defeat comes the mandatory option achievement, as well as the subjugation of the human race. At least until Destroy All Humans 2 comes out. Wow, this guide took a lot more time than I thought it would. Hopefully it's of use to those who clicked on it, or at the very least you found it entertaining. If you have any suggestions for more videos or comments about this one, leave them for me down below.
Like shooting monkeys in a barrel.
Thanks for watching everyone, and I wish you the best. Until next time everybody.